What do you know about Cuomo's plan for education?
I don't know a lot, but I know it's like the Common Core and all that, but not really much.
I know that it involves taking money away from public schools and giving it to charter schools, and it is including standards that are both unfair to students and faculty members.
Well, I know that he's trying to make it easier for teachers to be fired. He plans on more state testing, teacher evaluation that doesn't actually have anyone in the education department evaluate the teachers, like businessmen and such.
How do you think making it easier to fire teachers will impact you?
Well, if you have like a personal bond, like you're really close to the teacher, it's gonna hurt you a lot. And like if they bring in a new teacher that you don't know, it's just gonna make the class like kind of different, and you probably won't like it as much.
I think that it would affect the teachers who are not fired by it would make our classes more difficult and not as enjoyable. And for the teachers who are fired, it will take away good teachers who are here to educate.
I'm honestly not sure how it would impact me directly, but there's very different styles of teaching for each teacher that works for each individual student, so you can't really fire a teacher on the basis of an evaluation and such.
Do you think it's fair to teachers to judge them on how well their students do on tests?
Not really, because they do their best, but they do their best to teach us what we need to know. But then some kids just don't listen. They don't pay attention to what they're saying, and then they'll fail.
No, I do not believe that is just.
No, not at all. And sometimes you have a bad day, you just don't do well on the test. There's no guarantee that the teacher's value can be determined on the grades of a student, especially if the student doesn't care. It's impossible to really evaluate a teacher like that.
Would you like required online instruction for some classes like AP and College Now courses?
No, I believe that the interaction between a teacher and student benefits both of them, and online instruction takes away from that.
No, it shouldn't be required because students have been learning in a classroom environment. It's what we're used to, and it's also one of the best ways to learn. AP classes can offer hands-on experiences. They can also learn simply book notes experiences, but to teach it online, there's no way for you to go back and ask questions.
What do you think about increasing charter school numbers and their funding?
It'd take away from us, and we'd probably lose some of our programs like chorus and the musical and all that. We'd lose a lot of it, and that would suck for some of us.
I believe that will take away from public schools.
I think it's a really bad idea because the number of charter schools means that the number of students in public schools is going to decrease. They're going to take all the well-rounded students, the ones that are good at certain subjects and such, and offer them a place in their school. Charter schools also take away the funding from public schools. It has to be shared. They wouldn't work in our area. Charter schools are more for urban areas, which is what this whole entire reform thing is built around. It's built around New York City.
What impact do you think forcing public schools to open as charter schools will have on the average student?
It would hurt them, I think. Because if you go to a charter school and, somebody else goes to a public school and you get all this money from, the government and you're taking away from the public school's learning ability, it just doesn't feel like it's not right.
It would make the average student's life harder, considering the fact that they would have to be accepted into a charter school and have the threat of being kicked out.
It will be stressful. Students that like their school feel like they're going to have to work harder for grades because everyone knows charter schools have the highest expulsion rate. It will force students to either give up on school altogether or stress them out immensely.
What impact do you think having a school like ours merge with another will have on you and your peers?
Well, we have a merged school, in our alley. We have CVA, and it doesn't seem that bad. but I've never really thought of our school merging with another school, so.
Okay.
It takes away the identity of a school that you've been through since kindergarten, and it would make having a small school benefits you with smaller classes and more opportunities to be involved in after school activities, and adding more people into the melting pot dilutes the fact.
It will have a bad impact. It would fill up classes more, which means there would be a higher student to teacher ratio. What will be like at our highest 20 kids in the class will become 30, 35. Because we're not a big school, and when you combine other schools in there, the number doesn't just go up by a little, it doubles completely. There's going to be more students.
Do you have anything you'd like to say to Governor Cuomo?
I don't like the Common Core. It's difficult, especially since like 5th grade we've been learning how to do it, and then we come into like 7th grade and we have to relearn how to do, like, we have to show work for simple problems, which is really dumb.
Stop. Stop.
Your plan sucks. It just flat out sucks. It's not going to work. You're causing students to be stressed out even more. And this whole entire idea that the louder they scream, the more we know we're right, is absurd. If you want this to work, you should be listening to the people that are going to be in this education system. I want to become a teacher, but you would have to pay me to continue living in New York if you want me to be a teacher in New York. I would go into a different state. I would leave the country if this plan passes. There is no way this is going to work. And if this does somehow manage to be passed, I can guarantee you, you're not going to be elected next year or the year before, the next election.